The law of attraction sounds very simple. Like attracts like. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and it will become your reality. So, if I think about it, if I feel it, and if I visualize it, it will become my reality, right? So, why the hell the law of attraction isn't working? If you're doing the work, if you're thinking about what you want to create, if you're visualizing it, if you're feeling it, if you're trying and still your reality doesn't change. Or maybe it changes for a moment and then somehow it goes quickly back. And that's the part that's really frustrating. And it was for me too, because it made me feel like I'm missing something. The law of attraction works for her. The law of attraction works for him. Why the hell it doesn't work for me? And it took me time being a psychotherapist and working with a human consciousness, with positive psychology, with emotions. I started to understand that the law of attraction is not failing me. What's happening is that my emotional system, my belief system is stronger than my momentary effort. And once I understood that, everything started to make sense because our brain, our emotional system, has one main job: to keep us in what feels stable and familiar, not necessarily what we want and not necessarily what is better for us, just what feels normal. So even if we feel motivated one day and then aligned for a few hours and then feeling like, yes, that was the shift, if that state doesn't become familiar, doesn't become second nature, a new norm, we won't stay there. We'll gently and sometimes very quickly return to our baseline. So this is not a failure. This is how our system is designed. Our mind, our emotions, and our belief system is what keep our life so stable and so real. So here is a real shift. Instead of trying to create a new reality right away, we will learn how to train our system to hold a new state of desired reality. Let's make it practical. Right now, you have your internal map. And this map includes what you believe in, what you expect, what feels possible, what feels safe, what feels norm, what feels like you. And your life reflects that map. So when you want something new, more success, more ease, a different kind of relationship, your system checks, does this fit into my current map? And if it doesn't fully meet, you start doubting it, overthinking it, or unconsciously even move away from it. And not because you don't want it, but because your system is protecting what it knows as your norm, right? And here's the very important part. This is not a limitation. This is actually your power. And why it works for someone very quick and for some very slow? Because their system is aligned with what they're trying to create. And your system is not yet, but it will. It will. So how do we change our inner map? Not by forcing a huge emotional shift, but by creating a small and consistent practical adjustments. Let's say right now something feels difficult. So we don't jump into everything is perfect, I feel amazing. No, that doesn't hold. Instead, we will shift slightly from tension to a bit of more ease, from doubt to a bit of more openness, from pressure to a bit of more stability. And you stay there a little longer, a little more often, and little by little, your inner map starts shifting your norm. And your system begins to recognize this is not new anymore. This feels safe. This feels possible. And once something becomes safe, familiar, possible, you start welcoming it into your life. This is the moment where manifestations start to feel normal, start to feel consistent. So the real question is not, how do I make this huge shift happen quickly? The real question is, how do I train my inner map to make this shift my new norm. And I want to give you something very important here. Once your inner system, your belief system, your emotions, your thoughts learns a new state, it doesn't disappear and you don't lose it. It becomes your second nature. It becomes natural to you. You stabilize it. You live from it. So yes, it's a process, but it's a process that gives you something very real and lasting. And this is exactly the work I do with people. We don't just talk about manifestations. We don't tell, okay, feel good and it'll happen. No, we'll look at emotional patterns, what feels familiar, what your system returns to, and how to gradually shift that baseline. There is science behind it. There is positive psychology, emotional intelligence, energetic intelligence that makes it possible for you to see your inner map and start training it towards what feels like the reality you want to experience, but also like your personality traits that you want to embody and live and feel every day. So that what you want becomes not something you chase, but something your system is ready to live. If you feel like you've been trying and something is still not fully clicking, this might be the missing piece. And if you want to understand your own patterns more deeply and learn how to stabilize the state you want, you can apply to work with me. The link is below. And even if you take just one thing from this, start noticing what feels familiar, what feels like my norm, because that's where your reality is shaping. And once you begin to shift that, everything begins to move naturally and in a way that lasts.